Welcome to TMN TV. I'm Justin Sabata, and it's September 27, 2021. If you haven't gotten your vaccine yet, it might be worth your while as the university has extended the date on its incentive program. For more information, contact the Student Health Center. To participate in the program, you must have your first dose of the vaccine by October 1st. There are some great things happening here at Fort Hays State, especially with Homecoming and Oktoberfest. This Thursday is the Tiger Bonfire, then we'll be hitting the weekend with Oktoberfest just to wrap everything up with the parade. Hope to see you all out there. A festive event strolled onto campus thanks to student engagement. Kerrigan Hutton has the story.
On September 16th, the Student Engagement Office held a Hispanic Heritage Kickoff event to celebrate the independence of Mexico as well to spread Hispanic culture to the rest of campus. I spoke to one of those members about the event.
So today we're having a Hispanic Heritage Month kickoff since yesterday was Mexico's independence, and then after that we have we're basically celebrating all Latin American countries that speak Spanish. So Mexico's Independence Day, Guatemala, El Salvador, Belize, they are all kind of have the same day where they celebrate their independence. So we're just trying to alert people like, hey, it's Hispanics Month Day. So we're gonna have Pin the Tail on the Donkey. If you win that, you get a prize. We're gonna have a round of loteria. If you win that, you also get a prize. We have some soccer balls out on the lawn. We have a painting station where you learn facts about Latin American countries and whatever you find fascinating about them. You get to paint whatever you want. We have a paper dahlia station, so it's just kind of like paper where you can either make flowers or cutouts. Diversity is important, not just like skin tone, but inclusion, just that people are more culturally aware of others, and they just have a better perception and are more open-minded once they finish college and go out into the real world. It's just nice to have that little bit of reference to different backgrounds.
It was a fun and energetic atmosphere filled with games, music, and who could forget, catering from Cancun Mexican Grill. The event was a great way to show Hispanic pride as well to spread some culture to the rest of campus. This is Kerrigan Hutton for TMN, and I think I'm going to go grab some horchata.
Kerrigan. Next, the Fort Hays community comes together to combat hunger. Liz Steck has the story.
As an event and family weekend, Swipe Out Hunger took place on Saturday, September 18th. At this event, students and their family members alike had the opportunity to give back by packaging meals that will be sent out around the world. Various student organizations helped in volunteering and running this event, including Tigers in Service, Alpha Gamma Delta, Tri Sigma, Sigma Alpha Epsilon, the FHSU men's soccer team, and Christian Challenge. FHSU partnered with New Manna in organizing Swipe Out Hunger. I had the pleasure of speaking with Caitlin Santage about New Manna and her involvement.
We are New Manna. We are located in El Dorado, Kansas. So there are 6 meals per bag, and then in each box there are 216 meals. And right now we are working on containers for Nicaragua, which is where the meals that we're packing today are going, with our partners with Feed the Hungry. And then we also package for Haiti often, and most of those go with Mission of Hope. And then we're also filling a container for El Salvador currently. But we do have various other countries that we fill containers for. We just work on either ones that are a main interest for most of the groups that we are working with, or like Convoy of Hope is one of our larger partners also that handles a lot of distribution. And they're the ones who called us and said, hey, we need a container for El Salvador because they're running out of food at this point and they hadn't gotten a container for a while because we had been filling for other countries. So it's kind of flexible, but those are the 3 we're working on right now.
This year, 1,140,000 meals have been sent out, and 30,672 meals were packed at Swipe Out Hunger. With Tiger Media Network, this is Liz Steck.
Thank you, Liz. When we come back, Caden will give us the sports updates.
Tiger Media Network is the independent student media organization here at Fort Hays State University. It encompasses audio, video, print, photography, digital news. There's a little bit of everything at TMN.
They offer so many different events, opportunities, just so many different things to go out and do and learn so that you can make a more compelling story and just help develop you as a storyteller.
I toured this facility and I saw this radio station and then the TV studio, and I was like, yeah, this is something that I definitely need to be a part of. Here, you know, I was instantly able to make my own content, being able to broadcast my own shows.
If you have a passion about sports or about news, it doesn't matter. You can come here and you can work from day one and get that experience that demonstrates your ability to be a professional in the media industry.
Welcome back. I'm Caden Sanders with the sports. The Fort Hays football team started the year 0-2, looking to bounce back to 500 in 2 games, with finishing at the bottom of the division in most recent seasons. Fort Hays scored 10 out of 11 drives on the night, along with a Lincoln safety, giving the Tigers a big win over Lincoln University Blue Tigers 72-0. A big player in the game was running back Adrian Soto, who had 13 carries on the day for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. This past weekend, the Tigers traveled to Joplin, Missouri to take on Missouri Southern Lions. The game would start quickly for both teams, scoring on their first drives of the game. At the end of the first quarter, Adrian Soto would find the end of the end zone to get another score on the board, making it 14-7. Fort Hays scored 3 more in the second quarter, leading the Lions 35-7 at break. Both teams would not score until the fourth quarter, where the Lions would cut the lead to 42-21 to be the final score. Fort Hays improves to 2-2 on the season and looks to host a 4-0 Nebraska Kearney team at homecoming for the homecoming game. We switch to women's soccer. The women's soccer team came in to their latest match 3-1, taking on the 5th-ranked Emporia Hornets. The Tigers and the Hornets faced off weeks prior to this game, going into overtime. This match didn't need an overtime, as the Hornets would score in the first 10 minutes of the match. Fort Hays returns for homecoming weekend to take on Central Oklahoma and then Sunday against Newman. The men's soccer team returns back to the national spotlight in the top 25. In the last 2 games, they defeated Colorado Mesa and Rogers State. The Tigers came home to play Ouachita Baptist Thursday night, and then again Saturday at 1 versus Harding. The women's volleyball team in the past week has gone 2-1 with 2 games away from Gross Memorial. The volleyball team is back in action this Friday against Missouri Western, and Saturday the 13th against ranked Northwest in Gross Memorial. Let me just throw it back to Justin.
My name is Allie, and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me on my show.
Thank you, Caden. After a year with no audience to perform to the theater department, Reagan Neufeld gives us the story.
For the first time in 2 years, students of the FHSU Theater Department will have the chance to display their talents on the stage, this time in a production of The Music Man. After the pandemic halted all of their normal activities last year, students are ready to be back on stage doing what they love. I spoke with the leads for this year, Braden Boyer and Jenna Confer.
And it just feels good because we're all music people, and we didn't get to do any music. It's like muscle memory trying to get back into doing it. Almost.
So to be able to be back on stage, singing, dancing, acting, and doing what we absolutely love most is just the most incredible feeling ever. And I'm honestly thankful for the opportunity because, I mean, last year at this time we had no idea. The last show I did was Drowsy Chaperone and I was a junior. Now I'm a super senior, so I wasn't sure if I would even be able to do another show. So again, I'm just really thankful and feel super blessed to have this opportunity.
I also spoke with director Tommy Williams and technical director Carl Sage, who were able to give me a preview of the show.
Besides the classic songs, it's a classic story about a con, fast-talking salesman who's been making his way across the Midwest and ends in the small Iowa town and is prepared to take their money when he falls in love with the librarian.
It's a big set comparatively, and we've got lots of moving pieces and parts, things flying in and out, and standard quality performances by our students. And yeah, I don't know how better to describe it than that.
The Music Man can be seen at the Felton Start Theater and will run from October 7th to the 10th. For Tiger Media Network, I'm Reagan Neufeld.
Thank you, Reagan. Next, we take it over to the quad for some yoga. Hal Malu gives us the story.
Okay, my name is Lisa Schlegel, and I teach yoga for Fort Hays State University. Yoga is a holistic form of exercise. It really helps strengthen not only the mind and the body, but it strengthens the body in a dual way. So you're getting the conscious exercise and the conscious movement of the body, linking that with the breath to relax a person, but then also to keep really good circulation going in the body. Because in yoga, circulation is understood as youth. So even somebody who's 85 who does yoga, if they're getting good circulation in their body and movement of all of the joints and doing that really consciously rather than, say, forcing the movements or trying to achieve a certain look, doing the yoga and doing the movement to achieve the sensation and the stretch that the pose is meant to bring out is going to help keep a person very holistically healthy and also very relaxed, because they'll be focusing not only on the breath, but the tenets of the move. And so it's a very holistic practice and a great way to stay in shape without really having to have any props, just using your body.
And reaching with our right hand. So we're taking a deeper twist. That's why
About yoga, it's the whole benefit of yoga is that it's so holistic. You can gain so much from doing it, whether you just come to class to relax or whether you're coming to class to get a little circulation and stretch in your body. But you can also gain a lot of strength and discipline. So it's really depending on what do you put into it.
because it's just a break from my stressful day, a break from my busy schedule. It gives me time to relax and focus on moving my body and just getting my stress levels down.
The experience was great. I'm glad to see the people who came out. I had a good time and got a good stretch going, and I think I'm ready for the rest of the week. I think it would be kind of helpful for a lot of people. We sit at our desks a lot, and don't really get much exercise with some of us. So it's at least it's good to kind of come out here and do something like this time to time. So.
Our final story tonight, Workday is in full swing here at Fort Hays. I hit the streets of campus to see how students like it. This semester, Fort Hays State University launched the academics aspect of the Workday program, and we're here on campus to ask students what they think about this brand new program, and the answers, they were something.
I really don't like Workday. Every time I try to use it for academic things, it never works properly. It did an error that only happened to 11 other people on campus, and I couldn't actually register for my classes for a month after when I should have, because it didn't even recognize me as a student. I've just come to anticipate that anytime something needs to be done, I'll always have trouble, and I'll have to call Tiger Tech and my advisor, and I still have notifications of forms that can't be submitted because I have the wrong form of account or something. Whereas with Tiger Enroll, everything just worked fine, and it was easy to find my classes, and it was easy to make a payment. It actually did an error with my payment plan and nearly dropped all my classes the day before school started because it hadn't processed that I'd paid.
I think Workday has the potential to be just as good or better than Tiger Tracks, but I feel that there needs to be more training and guidance on how to use the software, and not only at the student level but at the faculty level as well.
I think Workday is pretty good. It looks clean, it's nice. It's easier to access compared to Tiger Tracks. Tiger Tracks just looked like it was from the 1980s or something. I didn't like its layout at all, but Workday's is pretty nice.
When I started off on Workday, it was pretty confusing to find everything and to look for like the finance option and how to get a schedule put together. And it seemed like a lot of the professors were kind of having trouble with it too. But I mean, I played around with it for a while, and one of my buddies actually works with it, so he taught me a few things. But honestly, I like Tiger Tracks better. It was more like to the point. You could search where you want to go. It'd get you there. Your schedule changes worked out a lot nicer, and your payments went through a lot better.
I think it's quite complex. Like it's hard to navigate. Tiger Track is easy. You can locate quickly. But Workday it's hard to, I don't know if it's because it's something new and it's difficult to adjust maybe over time, but for now I prefer Tiger Track much better.
I don't mind it. I know a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about Workday. I mean, I know it's a little rough right now because we're still in like the transition period and half of everything is in Tiger Tracks, half of everything is in Workday. I personally like Workday. I know that's a pretty unpopular opinion, but I think once everything gets put into Workday, it'll be a lot smoother. Obviously, we're not like to that point yet, so it's a little rough, but I think once we actually fully transition to Workday and everything's a little bit smoother, I think it's actually a better system.
Well, I felt that Workday was a good application to use when it was used solely for online or working on campus. I was a desk assistant, and I found that it was a very easy application to use for work-related materials, such as submitting timesheets and such. But I feel that the subsequent shift to using Workday as a complete replacement of Tiger Tracks has led to a lot of problems. Not to mention Workday isn't exactly the most user-friendly.
And so I'm really not a fan of Workday. It has made registering for classes and like switching classes and stuff so much harder. And I feel like Tiger Enroll worked fine. I had no complaints about it.
I personally didn't have too many troubles, but I know others who have, and it was pretty difficult for them to register for their classes, and they would call people for help, like their advisors or even above that, and they also had no idea how to help them use it.
I don't like every time I'd click on things, it was either they're very slow or it wouldn't register the click actually. And Tiger Tracks just, I don't know, fonts were very tiny, so it was kind of difficult to find things from time to time.
The screen-wise, the Tiger Track, the words are bold, big, you can see it captures your eye, but then you have to read through each on Workday to figure out, okay, what goes underneath that. It doesn't have it does have headings, and the labeling, I don't know, maybe we never had, the course, or I guess went through, we never had that, yeah. But honestly, Tiger Track is just have everything right there where you need to be, heading, subheading, easier to navigate through, so Workday don't have that. So
I understand why people like Tiger Tracks and that everything has an open layout, which is a lot different than Workday, and it's just a big change, and people don't like change, but once we get to that point, I think it'll be positive.
Tiger Tracks was really, really good at organization. If you needed something, you could find it pretty easily. Workday is different. You kind of have to go down the rabbit hole to find certain things. There's no subsections in which you can just select, academics, and then it's got everything you need for academics like Tiger Tracks did. And to that end, there are more issues cropping up because the switch was so abrupt. if you want to get an unofficial transcript, Workday is having some trouble with importing that information from Tiger Tracks. That was my personal experience, which is why I had to go to the registrar's office to get a physical copy rather than an electronic one. Personally, I thought it was better to have both. I don't really get the need to move everything onto one or the other. I feel it just complicates things when you try to add too many things into one application.
Thank you for tuning in to TMN TV. I'm Justin Sabata. Good day and good luck, Tigers.